Okay, people, I hope that everything is working as it should, as this is slightly experimental with me trying to stream this game on Android. I have streamed Android and bits of Android games before, but never tried to do a full playthrough of something a bit more, how shall we say, yeah, and there's something not right already. I can see that the tap screen thing is freezing on the main screen that I'm looking at to play it here. Okay, well, let's just hope that things continue to work as they should. So this is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies, and this is the Android version, not the 3DS version, because it looks a little bit better, and you don't have the dual screen thing going on, which I was hoping would make things more convenient to stream, but that remains to be seen if things will be convenient or not. We'll see anyway. I hope that they will. Okay. Okay, so far so good. Episode select. From episode start. Start from the beginning of this episode. Okay, yes. Alright. I was having issues earlier getting everything to display correctly, so I hope that this time things will display as they should, because I had a black screen instead of the characters talking, and I only had the text boxes with nothing in the background. I think I fixed it, but I'm not sure. Yeah, the screen is frozen on my main screen here. I actually have to...
These
look at OBS.
are dark times, where the law has been reduced to rubble, and it's up to us to restore it to its former glory. Yeah, I know what you mean. It looks like your target finally decided to make a move. Don't you worry. I've got a trusty new partner on board.
Done. Ready to go? You bet. Let's do this!
She's been with us for half a year, though I can hardly believe it. Anyway, her power will be our greatest weapon.
Are you alright, miss?
Ah, it's fixed now. Now it is displaying on my main screen.
It's for this very reason I returned. Time to bring it to an end.
Well, on Android it looks reasonably HD. The video anyway. Episode 1, Turnabout Countdown. Heh, heh, heh. The best thing about bombs is how they raise and destroy without discretion. Now, all I have to do is spin everything on that little girl. December 17th, 9:22 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 5. Maybe I can use a controller, no? Yes, no, maybe. Didn't mean to do that. Nope. Not feeling nervous at all. It's amazing what a girl can get used to. Even a tense atmosphere like this is no biggie. I think I can attribute certain things to buttons on a controller, despite the fact that this is Android, since I am running this in BlueStacks. Excuse me. Oops. Hold on. Yeah, control editor. Okay, there we go. Just so that it's easier for me to play. Okay, there we go. Ah, good. Alright, awesome. Yeah, doing great. Like, a little tune great. Oh yeah, well, that's good to hear. Although, I could have sworn I heard your voice crack for a second there. Oof, I'm that transparent, huh? Cracking? No, my voice isn't cracking. Nerves of steel here, I tell you. This is Apollo Justice. He's a fellow lawyer at the office I work for. Apollo is the lead for the defense on this case, but I'm going to be there at the bench with him, doing what I can to help out. I'll do whatever it takes to defend Junie. Speaking of steel, how are you holding up? That explosion really did a number on you. I'm just happy that you're okay, Athena. Although I can't pretend I have no connection to this case, that's why I'm gonna see to it that Juniper's name is cleared. And I'm sure you feel much the same way. You got that right. I won't rest until Junie is completely cleared of all suspicion. Apollo, Athena. Thank you for doing this for me. Junie! Hey, are you okay? Sorry about that. I always seem to go into coughing fits whenever I get nervous. This kind of thing never happens at home in the forest, though. This is Juniper Woods. Juniper Woods. She lives in the woods. Okay. She's my dear childhood friend, and she's also our client for this case. The news keeps repeating that Junie is the alleged bomber. But that's ridiculous. I brought you a little snack, Thena. Just a little something from my garden. Hey, thanks. So, is this an orange or a tangerine? It's an orange. My grandma says that orange is the color of strength and endurance. Oh, I get it. Strength for the trial, right? Junie, you're always so good to me. Jeez, look at me, standing here clutching an orange to my chest with tears in my eyes. Well, don't you worry. We'll be so powerful in there they won't know what hit him, right, Apollo? Yeah, that's right. Come what may, this is one trial. We just can't lose. Okay. Apollo! Apollo! Blood is seeping through his bandages. One of his wounds must have reopened. All this time he was trying to put on a brave face, but he was really overdoing it. Mr. Justice! Huh? The trial is about to start, sir. Please proceed to the courtroom. What? Now? But Apollo is in no state to defend. Athena, you're gonna have to fill in for me. I have to defend Juniper. What are we gonna do? The trial is about to start with or without us. There's only one other option I can think of at a time like this. But even if I called him now, we'd never get here in time. Him. No, wait, there's something else I can do. Apollo, give me all the evidence for the case. Huh? What are you gonna do? Bailiff. Yes, miss? The defense would like to submit a substitution of attorney petition. Then, You're not seriously. You just concentrate on getting better. I'll defend Junie. All by yourself? Athena, stop for a second. Think about what you're saying. You've never once taken a case on alone before, right? No hay problema. I can handle it. I think. I'm not sure I pronounced that right, but that's alright. But I guess it's really up to you, Junie. Would you be okay with me taking over? Sure. I believe in you, Athena. And that's enough for me. You're worried for me, aren't you? To be honest, I'm pretty nervous too. I think my heart might just burst out of my chest. But you're in no shape to stand at the bench now, so you'll just have to leave it to me. Alright, I can see your mind's made up anyway. I hate it that I can't be there, but I know you'll give your utmost to defend Juniper. You bet I will, rest assured of that. My name is Athena Sykes. I'm still just a newbie, but I'm a lawyer. This is only the second time I've taken the lead in a defend case. It'll be the first time I stand up there alone, though. But I have to do this, and I'm definitely not about to let anything bad happen to Junie. December 17th, 9:46 a.m. This District Court, courtroom number 5. Day 1. Court is now in session. All rise. Court is now in session for the trial of Juniper Woods. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Pain. He still exists. The prosecution is also ready, Your Honor. And what is the meaning of this? I was under the impression that Mr. Red Monkey would be my opponent today. Yes, well, a substitution of attorney petition was submitted just a few moments ago. Due to the explosion in the courthouse yesterday, Mr. Justice is unable to continue. I see. Not at all surprised he used that as an excuse to run away, with me as an adversary. Who wouldn't want to feign illness in order to escape? What? The nerve of that guy! I'm going to give him a piece of my mind. Well, I would if I wasn't so nervous. This arrogant jerk. You arrogant jerk! No! Is my hearing getting worse? I could have sworn I heard the defense say something just now. No, you didn't hear anything at all, especially not from me. How odd. I could have sworn I also heard something. Oh, that would be my indispensable partner, Widget. He sometimes blurts out what I'm thinking. Well then, if that's the case, then it's a clear contradiction to what you just stated. A contradiction? You just stated that you said nothing. However, if that device of yours says what you're thinking, then you indeed said I was... what was it? Elegance at work? Eep! Actually, it was arrogant jerk. At any rate, what does it matter if it's a red monkey or a yellow monkey facing me? No fresh out of law school rookie can defend this witness. Mr. Payne, I believe that's enough. Let us get back to the case. Of course, Your Honor. I'm more than ready to show this little girl why they called me the Rookie Humiliator. I knew it. He really is an arrogant jerk. Arrogant jerk! Miss Sykes, if you continue to insult the prosecution, I will remove you from this court. I'm very sorry. It was just a knee-jerk reaction.
Well then, Mr. Payne, your open statement, if you please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now then, the incident occurred yesterday here at this very courthouse in courtroom number 4. At that time, the trial for a certain bombing was being held in courtroom number 4. Ah yes, I was presiding over that trial as well, and Mr. Justice was there as the lawyer for the defense. A bomb that was being presented as evidence suddenly went off during the trial. It was a terrible incident, and courtroom number 4 was completely destroyed. Fortunately, we were able to start evacuation procedures before the explosion occurred. Just a few seconds more and it would have turned into a horrific loss of human life. But there was in fact one death, was there not? That is correct, Your Honor. When courtroom number 4 was examined after the blast, the body of Detective Candice I'm trying to figure out what the pun is, if there is any. Candice Arm, I guess, was discovered. She was to take the stand as a witness later in the trial. I suppose she wasn't able to evacuate in time. What a terrible tragedy. I must admit I stumbled at least 10 times myself before I was able to escape. Maybe the court should see to getting you even shorter robes. The victim's body was found near the entrance to the courtroom. I suspect she stayed until the very end to help guide the others out safely. Your Honor, allow me to submit as evidence the victim's autopsy report and details about the bomb. Arm's autopsy report added to the court record. Cause of death, trauma to back of head, caused by impact with a flat object. Time of death, between 8 and 11 a.m. Trauma to back of head. Stuffed animal bomb added to the court record. The time bomb that destroyed the courtroom. It was hidden inside a stuffed animal when it was detonated. Guilty. Okay, I know how this works. All evidence for the trial is filed in the court record. When I want to check something, I just tap the court record panel in the upper right. Okay. I'd better take a peek later. Now then, please call the accused to the witness stand. Defendant, are you feeling alright? You're looking a bit pale. I'm so sorry. I was feeling a bit weak when I first arrived here at the courthouse. But okay, sorry. Junie's really giving it her all. I'd better make sure I do the same. If we could please proceed. Your name and occupation, defendant. Jennifer Woods. I'm a high school student. Miss Woods, can you confirm you were in the courthouse on the day in question? Yes, I came to know Apollo Justice through my friend Thena. And so, I was there yesterday to watch this trial and lend my support. Something's wrong. Junie's really scared. Did you know I'm also known as the defendant humiliator? It looks like I have yet another chance to show everyone how I earned that moniker. Does this arrogance know no bounds? I have to protect Junie no matter what. Hey, you arrogant... Prosecutor Payne! Stop harassing the witness or the defendant or something. What is it? Do you want me to demonstrate why I am known as the Rookie Humiliator instead? Deep breath, Athena. Don't let him get to you. Prosecutor Payne, Junie is telling the truth. Mr. Justice also backed up her claim when we saw him in the defendant lobby. And Junie, he said that he was glad to get the lotus root you gave him too. He was? My grandma says lotus root is good for your eyes. She says they can even help you see into the future. They can? Then that's a perfect present for a lawyer. And if that's true, I guess he must not have eaten them. A sweet, meek girl like this, blowing a courtroom to bits? I must say it's very hard to believe. Objection! Now, Your Honor, don't let her seemingly innocent appearance fool you. The defendant had a motive for committing this crime. That's not true. I don't have any kind of motive. And I didn't even know the lady who was killed. I admit the investigation didn't turn up any connection between the victim and the defendant. However, that doesn't matter. The only thing that does is that her objective was the destruction of courtroom number 4 itself. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Why in the world would Miss Woods want to do that? That's a very good question, coming from a novice such as yourself. But first, a question for the defendant. Have you ever been brought up on false charges? What? Why, yes I have. And did that experience cause you to harbor a grudge against the court system?
Objection!
Now, wait just 1 minute. If that kind of thing was a motive for blowing things up, then every one of our clients would turn into bombers. That's a valid point. We wouldn't have a single courthouse left standing in the land. I can see the accused isn't the only one who might bear resentment against the courts, but Miss Woods is the only person who could have committed this crime. Why? Because we have found some decisive evidence that proves the defendant's guilt. Decisive, huh? I'll believe it when I see it. It involves a very unique aspect of the bomb itself, Your Honor. And what exactly was so unique about it? Why don't we have Miss Sykes answer that question? Huh? Me? I noticed that you appear to be very nervous, and well, gentleman than I am. I'd like to offer you the chance to gain some confidence with such an easy question. Could he be any more condescending? Really? What a thoroughly unpleasant man. Alice for a loser! What did it just say? Nothing. Not a single thing. Now, let's see. What was I supposed to do at a time like this? Oh, I know. The court record. The information I need is somewhere in the court record. Alright, Miss Sykes, let's hear your answer. What was unique about the bomb that blew up the courtroom? Was it because it was... inside the stuffed animal? It's the only piece of evidence that I have, so... Gasp in pain. Gasp in pain. The prosecuting attorney, he just seems to exude unpleasantness. Can disarm. The victim in this case, a detective who was heading up the investigation into a bombing incident. Our client in this case, who've been friends since childhood, a sweet girl. Another lawyer at the office, he's passionate about the law and hates anything that's not fair or just. Inside a stuffed animal. Mr. Payne, what kind of simpleton do you take me for? It was stuffed inside the stuffed animal. Its evil intentions covered up by a cute exterior. Very good, have a cookie. The bomb that went off in the courtroom was indeed hidden inside a stuffed animal. There, how'd you like that? Not bad, huh? Yeah, you just, convicted your client or something. I'm gonna get something real quick. I'll be right back. I wanted to snack on something, but in a game like this where I have to read out loud, it's not always the best idea. There, how do you like that? Not bad, huh? I am fine, just like I said from the start. I can do this. As I recall, the bomb was stuffed inside a stuffed animal the whole time. I never even got to take a look at it. But what connection does this impish elephant have with the defendant? The answer to that question lies in another piece of evidence, which I have here. And what, pray tell, is this? It appears to be a little singed. It's a tale, Your Honor. The tale of a poor victim of the explosion. This is incredible. Are you saying it's Detective Arm's tale? Your Honor, it's so very close, but no. It belongs to the stuffed animal. It's called the Phony Fanty. A rather unpleasant name, if you ask me. He's the mascot for a campaign to eliminate false evidence and false charges, is he not? Exactly. His motto is phony evidence is just trunked up. It's so wrong on so many levels. The Phony Fanty's tail is made of vinyl cloth, and we found something very interesting on its surface. The defendant's fingerprints. What? The Phony Fanty provided the prosecution with all the evidence we needed. It clearly proves that the accused handled the bomb. Beep. But that doesn't make any sense. Why would Jeannie's fingerprints be on it? That does appear to be pretty refutable evidence. The court accepts it into evidence. Phony Fanty's tale added to the court record. Miss Woods, do you have an explanation for this?
I don't understand.
How about you, Miss Sykes? Do you have any plausible explanation to refute this decisive piece of evidence? Well, I can't do it. I can't think of a single thing. But I'd better come up with something for Junie's sake. If you can't produce an answer, we could always go straight to the ruling if you prefer. No, I have to say something fast. Oh no, I can't get my voice to work. Why now of all times? I thought I overcame this already. Maybe I'm still not ready to stand in court. No voices.
As you can see, there is no room for debate.
Objection!
Why, it's you!
Sorry it took me so long to get here, Athena. Apollo explained the whole thing to me over the phone. He asked me to come help you out in this place. Thanks for coming. I hate to admit it, but I was having a real rough time on my own. Oh, I don't know, I think you were doing just fine, all things considered. And you hung in there, giving me enough time to get here. Now, let's turn things around. You got it, boss. Oh, look who showed up out of the blue. If it isn't Mr. Phoenix Wright, you always manage to surprise me. Your Honor, Mr. Payne has called for an early ruling. but I believe there are still many things that need to be deliberated. How did Miss Wood's fingerprints wind up on the stuffed animal tail? How was the bomb even detonated? Until these questions are answered, I assert it's impossible for a fair ruling to be made. You are absolutely right. Let us continue from where we left off. I assume you have no objections, Mr. Payne? Not at all, Your Honor. Miss Woods really looks like she's having a hard time. Junie is really struggling, Mr. Wright. I get the sense she's afraid of the courtroom itself. Because of yesterday? Yeah, it was understandably very traumatic for her. Poor thing. And here she is, back at the courthouse again, being so brave. I'd like to make a request, Your Honor. If at all possible, I'd like to have Miss Woods rest in the lobby. Given the defendant's condition, very well, I grant special permission. You go get some rest, Junie, and leave the rest to us. Okay, thank you. Sorry about this. Phoenix Wright. I've been looking forward to meeting you. It's been a while, Mr. Payne. You got your hair back? You're more clueless than I'd heard. I do believe you mean how do you do? For I am Gaspin Payne. I am the younger brother of your long-standing rival, Winston Payne. Yeah, they're not the same. Okay, it's a different one. You're gonna go bald all the same. Don't worry about it. What? Long-standing rival? When were we ever rivals, let alone long-standing? You'll see, Mr. Wright. I will cleanse Winston of the disgrace he met with at your hands. Looks like this royal pain is going to be as thoroughly unpleasant as the other. Your Honor, the prosecution would now like to call a decisive witness to the stand. This witness will testify as to how the accused detonated the bomb in the courtroom. Very well, please call your witness, Mr. Payne. Who's it gonna be? Big Gumshoe? No. But isn't it him? We saw him with the bomb in his hands, no? Didn't we? Witness, your name and occupation, please. Witness? Name, Detonate. Occupation, bomb disposal specialist. Oh my, what a strange robotic voice you have. Speech synthesis via typing. It is the same as me talking. Sounds exactly like a robot. Can't you speak in a normal manner? I can. He can. But I do not like to speak. Speaking is inefficient. Energy expenditure. Speaking bigger than typing. Understand? What an odd witness. Mr. Tenate was in charge of the bomb for that trial and was there when it went off. Being a bomb squad specialist, do you have any relation to the defendant? Negative. I first met the girl while on this job. Many people are employed by the police. I know only a fraction of them. However, I was shocked when I first discovered the body of the victim. Shocked? I was the first one on the scene after the explosion. I went there to ensure safety, but I ended up discovering a dead body. So he was the first to discover the body, was he? He is here to testify about the circumstances surrounding the moment of the explosion. Very well, the court will hear Mr. Tonate's testimony. But at the very least, show this court some respect and remove that face guard, witness. Okay. When the bomb went off. The bomb was originally disarmed by me, then transported here as evidence. Bomb name HH3000, operated by timer or with a remote. I was watching from the gallery when I suddenly became alarmed. I saw that the bomb's timer was counting down. So even though the bomb was supposed to be disarmed, it somehow got switched on? Precisely. Activating the timer is very simple. 1. Connect wires. 2. Switch on timer. A monkey could do it. I am sure even you would be able to, Mr. Wright. I guess this makes you the blue monkey in this barrel of fun, boss. I'd now like to begin my cross-examination, huh? Mr. Tonate, what is that? H-3000. A bomb? Great! Googly something! Yeah! Mr. Tonate, I demand that you disarm it this instant! Disassembly complete. HMPH 5.3 seconds, 0.2 seconds short of my personal best. Are you trying to give me a heart attack? I'm not exactly a spring chicken, you know? This is an exact replica of the EDH H3000. It is used to practice disarming bombs. Disarm equals success. Explosion equals failure. An exact replica of the bomb that exploded, is it? So that's what it looked like. I submit a photograph of the real bomb taken just before the trial. There's a crack in the display on that one. By the looks of it. Dimensions, 10 inches. Height, 10 inches width. 10 inches... What's that? The height, width. And, depth. Depth, I guess. Weight, 12 pounds. A perfect replication. Your bomb does appear to be a very good copy indeed. Yes, however, I could not replicate the detonation mechanism. It has a very puzzling wiring setup. It is regrettable I could not replicate it. Witness, that's enough. There is no need to replicate anything here. Stuffed animal bomb. It was hidden inside a stuffed animal and can be detonated remotely. HH3000 bomb dated in the court record. And now if the defense would begin their cross-examination, Where has Miss Sykes gone to? Athena, you can come out now. Okay, Mr. Wright, let's get to work. I guess you were pretty scared, huh? What? I don't know what you're talking about. She was about to bolt. Hey, put a sock in it, widget. As transparent as ever. Now, let's see. Where were we? We were at the cross-examination. Oh, cross-examination, of course. She seems disoriented. I wonder if she's alright. Maybe I should ask Athena if she remembers how to cross-examine to help her focus. I think she'll be fine, and we'll be fine too. Nah, no need for that right now. She'll be fine. I'll do everything I can to help. If you can't find any contradictions, and you flub up too often, don't be afraid to ask me for help. Tap the consult panel when it appears to consult with me. I'll let you know where I think the suspicious statement is. Sounds good. I'll be counting on you if I get in a bind. Alright, it's cross-examination time. Hold on. It's cracked. How was it counting down?
Objection!
So you say you saw the bombs count down, is that right? Of course, I clearly saw it counting down to 0. And I say that you are clearly lying. What are you talking about? There is no way you could have seen the bomb's timer. After all, the bomb was concealed inside a stuffed animal. Mr. Tonate, how can you claim to know the bomb was about to go off when you couldn't even see the timer? Ah! But that... What? No! That does seem like the glaring inconsistency, indeed. Witness, how do you explain this? Well, Well, that was great, Mr. Wright. You found the contradiction right off the bat. Always remember, Athena, when you find an inconsistency in a witness's testimony, there's always a reason behind it. Could be a lie, a hidden meaning, a secret, whatever it is, it's up to us to dig it out. And pointing out every contradiction we find is the best way to do it, right, boss? Now the question is, what can we dig out of Mr. Tonate? Well, let me see, No, there must be some mistake. Oh yes, of course, I remember now. The sound, I knew because of the sound. Sound? What sound? When the timer of this type of bomb is switched on, it beeps softly. Beep, beep, beep. It is the sound of the bomb counting down. A beeping noise, you say? I suppose it would be possible to notice that even with the bomb inside the stuffed animal. I simply made a mistake, my bad.
Objection!
How in the world did you hear such a tiny little sound all the way from the gallery? Listening for the sound of a bomb's timer is an integral part of my work. I constantly undergo training so that I will never miss it. I hardly think training would help you hear something so soft from so far away. What now? Are you making light of the fine science of disarming bombs? It is a solemn mission that I put my life on the line to perform. What kind of specialist would I be if I could not hear a bomb's timer? It's not like disassembling a toaster, you know? Now it's just showing off. You keep asserting that the sound was too tiny to hear, but the only tiny thing here is your skill as a lawyer. Being suspicious is not an attractive quality, you know? And you're just overflowing with attractive qualities, are you? Or perhaps you have some proof that Mr. Tonate did not hear the sound? Well, no, but it still seems totally suspect. It's going to be really hard to prove that he didn't hear something. If I have this correct, the prosecution's argument is that someone reactivated the bomb before it was brought into the courtroom. What I don't understand, Mr. Payne, is why you believe that person to be Miss Woods. That's simple, Your Honor. Mr. Tonate happened to be there when it happened. He was there when the defendant rearmed the bomb. What's this now? It happened before the trial started. It was when Detective Arm and I were transporting a bomb. Excuse me. Okay. There we go. We brought the bomb to the lobby for the defense. Bomb equals evidence. The lawyer wanted to see it before the start of the trial. Looking for a chance to get at the bomb, Miss Woods was already there in that lobby. Her goal was surely to rearm the bomb and steal the remote switch. The remote switch? Yes, the switch that controls the bomb remotely. Duh. It has been missing ever since the incident. Missing remote switch added to the court record. I am partially to blame. I left the bomb and remote on top of the transport case. And they were rearmed and stolen while I was talking with the lawyer. The defendant then used the remote from inside the courtroom to start the timer.
Objection!
How can you assert so unequivocally that the bomb was rearmed in the lobby?
Objection!
The bomb was safely secured in the transport case. The only time it was outside of the case was in that lobby. Therefore, that was the one and only opportunity anyone had to meddle with it. Someone other than Mr. Tonate could have opened the case and taken the bomb out. Impossible, the transport case is assigned exclusively to me. Do you see this number here? That is my identification number. And I have the only key that can open the case. The case Tonate and Detective Arm transported the bomb in. Tonate has the key. An important detail. Nevertheless, Mr. Payne's assertion is nothing more than conjecture. You have no proof that it was Miss Woods who stole the remote switch. And by the same token, you have no proof that it wasn't her. But what I do have is a piece of evidence that proves the defendant handled the bomb. Ah, that tail! 5 minutes, 24 seconds, 2.3 deciseconds? Deciseconds? Tenths of seconds, okay. The defense's advantage lasted a mere 5 minutes. Talk about a rotten hand. As long as they have her fingerprints as their trump card, I'm at a big disadvantage. It appears we will have to hear from the defendant herself once more. I wholeheartedly agree, Your Honor. I would like to recall Miss Woods to the stand. I trust you have no objections, Mr. Wright? I'm worried about her condition, but we do need her testimony. On the other hand, I'm not sure I want to make Athena mad. I can read your feelings, you know, boss. Guess there's no hiding from her, huh? Don't worry, I know we need her testimony. But if anybody picks on her again, they'll pay. Guess she's already at anger level 1. Don't worry, I'll stop the proceedings before I let anything bad happen to her. The defense has no objections, Your Honor. In that case, I will take my leave. But before I do, there is just one more thing, Mr. Wright. Is Mr. Wright, is it? Me? Yes. Dismantling bombs is my job. Dismantling the case is yours. Do you think you can handle it? I look forward to seeing you try. This guy is hiding something, I just know it. Now, if you will excuse me. Bailiff, please go out to the lobby and bring back the defendant. Hold on a second. Okay, excuse me. Junie. Hi, Athena. She looks even worse off than before. Don't worry, Junie. We're here for you. Thanks, Athena. And I'll do my best too. You blew up the courtroom because you bear resentment against the courts, correct? No, of course not. What's that you say? I can barely hear you. I haven't done anything wrong. This prosecutor is scary.
Objection!
What an impudent little girl. Stop acting innocent and tell the truth. This is getting ugly. You rearmed the bomb because you wanted to blow up the courthouse. Admit it. That's why you went to the lobby where Mr. Justice was. Isn't that right? Mr. Wright, can I go give that prosecutor a smack? What? Of course not. Do we have to review the courtroom manners 101 again? We can't let a creep that bullies innocent girls like this off so easily. I haven't forgotten about how we treated you. Don't worry about me. Just help Judy. Her heart's crying out. She's so scared. So very scared. Looks like Athena's picking something up with her heightened sense of hearing. And it sounds like this time it's the voice of Miss Woods' heart. Don't deny it, you stole the remote switch and used it in the courtroom, didn't you?
Objection!
Your Honor, please put a stop to this! Mr. Payne is badgering the defendant. Yes, Miss Woods does seem quite frightened. Mr. Payne, I ask that you behave more like a gentleman. But don't you know, Your Honor, there is no more a gentleman in this world than I. As if a gentleman or even a gentleman would behave like he does. Don't let that rude ruffian win. How dare you call a gentleman such as I a rude ruffian? I'll have you know I attend the manners class every Saturday. I'm more than just a mere gentleman. I'm a gentleman. Not when you're terrorizing a young lady, you're not. I'd demand my money back from that manners class if I were you. Ugh. I should probably be the adult here and stop the two of them, but... Mr. Payne, that will be enough. Certainly, Your Honor. No further questions. Let's move on to the defendant's testimony. Miss Woods, please share with the court what you were doing with the bomb went off. When the bomb went off. Well, that day, I was watching from the gallery. The bomb went off. And rubble started falling. It fell on top of me. Jean is clearly in pain being forced to recall the bombing like this. She can't even get her words out. This isn't going to work, so what now? Hey, wait a minute. Even if she can't vocalize what she wants to say, we can listen to what's inside her heart. Yes, now is the perfect time to use Athena's power. You can hear it, can't you, Athena? The cries of Miss Woods' heart. Yes, and they sound incredibly strained. She's so scared, I think she could collapse at any second. Athena has a unique ability, you see. With her finely tuned sense of hearing, she can hear the words of a witness's heart. In essence, she can sense how a person is really feeling from the tone of their voice. Guess it's all up to Athena and her special ability now. Athena, I want you to use the analytical psychology you studied and listen to the testimony of Miss Woods' heart. Okay, boss, I'll give it a go. After all, this is the whole reason I put all that effort into studying analytical psychology. Auf geht's! Let's do this! So your holographic thingamabob can show us how Miss Woods is feeling, right? In a nutshell, yes. The emotions and images that I picked up on just now while listening to her testimony. I can enter all of that into widget and use the mood matrix to analyze them. These mood markers here reflect fluctuations in Junie's emotions. When she feels happy or is enjoying the memory, the happy marker will light up. When she feels angry or frustrated, the angry marker will react. When she feels sadness or is frightened by a memory, the sad marker will blink. Surprise? When she feels surprised or confused, the surprised marker will let us know. Okay. So with your special ability and widget's mood matrix program, we can track how Miss Woods is feeling as she testifies, talk about the wonders of technology. Yep, now let's give it a shot. I'm picking up on some kind of discord or noise in Jeannie's heart. See here? This is what noise looks like in the mood matrix. It's a result of inconsistencies between her testimony and her feelings. If we can pinpoint these inconsistencies, the noise level should drop. Okay, it's time to listen to Miss Woods' true testimony. Miss Woods's... Well, that day... how did I do that? How did I display that? Well, that day, cuff. Ah, I see. Because my little button thing is off to the side, where that little menu icon there in the bottom right corner is. It opens that menu if I use the button there, I guess. Well, that day, cough. I was watching from the gallery, cough cough. The bomb went off, cough. Confusion or surprise? And rubble started falling. It fell on top of me, cough cough. Why is that a happy memory? I think I have a good grasp on Junie's emotional state now. This power of Athena is incredible. And I'm seeing an unexpected emotion that's inconsistent with the content of her testimony. What? Already? Look at this. When she says it fell on top of me, the happy marker is reacting. Well, look at that. That is odd. There must be a reason for this contradictory emotion. We just need to do some digging. When you find an unexpected emotion, tap the unexpected emotion from the 4 mood markers. The one that's unexpected, yeah. Well, this one is unexpected. Widget is registering joy when Miss Woods recalls the rubble falling on her. There must be a reason for this unexpected emotion. Miss Woods, as the rubble was falling, was there also something that made you feel happy? What? Mr. Wright, the feeling of happiness is spreading throughout Ginny's heart. Keep going on this point and I bet Judy will start to calm down. Great, let's hear what she has to say. Just as I was about to escape the courtroom, the bomb went off. I was so startled, I tripped. And then rubble started falling on top of me. I really thought I was done for. But just then, Apollo came and rescued me. That's why it's a happy memory. I see. Apollo? He used his own body to shield me from the rubble. So that's when he sustained those injuries. How'd you feel, Jeannie? Did talking about Apollo give you some courage? Yes, Apollo is just like the sun, strong and bright and warm. Just talking about him makes me feel like a leaf undergoing photosynthesis. And see, your coughing stopped all of a sudden. Oh, you're right. Thank you, Thena. Noise level 50%. Looks like we were able to draw out some new testimony. Hehe, pretty neat, huh? But there are still some noise left, meaning there must still be some discord in Ginny's heart. I guess we'll have to keep going then. Let me input this new information and update the mood matrix and we'll be good to go. You remember what to do, right? When I find an unexpected emotion, I should touch pinpoint. That's right, and then you tap the unexpected emotion from the moon markers. If we can find the reason for the discord in our heart, then we should be able to draw even more new testimony out. Info update. I tried to run, but I was too slow. Before I could get away, the bomb went off. I was so startled I tripped, and then rubble started falling on me. I thought I was done for. Info updates. But then Apollo came and rescued me. You were happy when Mr. Justice rescued you, weren't you? Yes, I was really happy. But was there also something you felt sad about at the same time? Sad? The reason I ask is, when you were describing how you were rescued, we sensed a little sadness too. Oh, I think it's probably because of Bumrap Briny. Bumrap Briny? Well, what do you know? Something new. That's right, I brought my stuffed animal, Bumrap Briny, to watch the trial with me. Bumrap Briny and Phony Fenty are brothers. Who knew that the legal world could inspire a whole line of merchandise? I had Bumrap Briny with me while I was watching. Whoa, hey, Panda, how's it going? Bum rat Bryony. Bum rat Bryony. But it wasn't until Apollo saved me that I realized I'd lost him as I was running away. My poor Riney, a victim of that terrible bomb. Oh, I know. You can see what he looks like in this poster. No more bum raps. He looks like an attorney. It's for the campaign to eradicate fake evidence and false charges. Phony Fenty and bum rap Riney, huh? Nothing against the campaign, but why an elephant and a rhinoceros? Mr. Wright, I don't sense any discord in Ginny's heart anymore. So I guess that means we managed to draw out all of our testimony? That's right, I'll just make an update with the new info and we'll have the whole picture. So do you think her new testimony will help? Absolutely, I don't know what I would have done without you, Athena. So Bumrap Riney was in that courtroom when the bomb went off. Now that we know that, it changes the meaning of that other piece of evidence. All I have to do is present it at the right statement. I was watching from the gallery with Bumrap Riney. I tried to run, but I was too slow. Okay. Could that be the tail of the other one? Yeah, it also has a tail, I guess. Before I could get out of the courtroom, the bomb went off. I was so startled I tripped and rubble started falling. I thought I was done for. But then Apollo came and rescued me. That's Ginny's complete testimony. Not bad, huh, Mr. Wright? I should focus on the new statements Miss Woods made. The existence of Bumrap Riney should turn things around in our favor. It changes the meaning of a certain piece of evidence we already have. Yeah, it has a tail. All I have to do is present it. At the right statement. This one.
Objection!
Objection! Miss Woods, I know this trial has been very hard for you, but you can relax now. You are without a doubt innocent. Mr. Wright, what wild assertion are you making now? My wild assertion is simply this. The two stuffed animals were mixed up. The tail the defendant's fingerprints were found on wasn't that of Phony Fenty. It was the tail of her gallery companion, Bumrap Riney.
Objection!
Objection! What nonsense is that? I can see they're both stuffed animal, yes. But they're completely different characters. An elephant and a rhino? They're as distinct as a defense lawyer and a prosecutor. But are they really so different? Both defense lawyers and prosecutors strive to protect the peace through law. Even elephants and rhinos have some similar characteristics. They're both gray, for example. Anyway, this poster is all I need to prove my assertion to be true. If I may direct the court's attention here, you'll clearly see how the two got mixed up. Well, the tail, isn't it? How do I point it out? Present, yeah. Excuse me. It's at the top of the screen. Well, would you look at that? The two tails are exactly the same. Yes, exactly. The two stuffed animals are based on entirely different animals. But the design of their tails is exactly the same. Ah! Order! Order in the court! As long as the possibility exists that the tail belongs to Bumrap Riney, we can no longer consider it to be decisive proof that the defendant handled the bomb. As things stand, I consider the charges against the accused unsubstantiated. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Payne? Oh, yes, of course, Your Honor. Oh, that was great, Mr. Wright. You turned things right around. Yeah, it's not over yet, but at least we managed to hold out this long. I believe that brings our proceedings for today to a close. Mr. Payne, I'm afraid you have some serious investigating ahead of you. Yes, Your Honor. Very well. Let us reconvene tomorrow. Court is adjourned. December 17th, 11:56 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 5. That was so exciting, boss. We did it. True to form, you managed to just barely pull it off at the very last moment. True to form. Gee, I never knew I had such a glowing opinion. She had such a glowing opinion of me. Thank you for everything you're doing. You did great, Miss Woods. You really stuck it out. And you got really brave at the end, just when we needed you most, Junie. Thanks to you, we were able to turn things around. Well, you were the one who gave me that courage thinner. Really? Thanks. So, be honest, was I any help at all? Of course. Without you, we would have never gotten out of that tight spot. That's good to hear. I may still have a lot to learn, but you can bet I'm going to give it my all. Can you excuse me just a second? I'd like to try something. If I do it that way instead, and turn myself that way. There we go. That should make things a bit easier. Okay. Because I keep looking at that screen where things keep freezing and I keep having to look to another screen, so I'll be so good that one day you'll call me your partner. That's what I like to hear. Analytical psychology, the ability to solve the riddles of a person's heart. Athena's true potential is beginning to really shine now. To shine through now. Also, okay, there we go. Hey, where's Apollo anyway? Good question. I almost forgot about him. Poor dude. Just a second. I'd like to improve things a bit further. If I could. Okay, there we go. I assumed he'd still be here in the lobby. Oh, what gives? Okay. Oh, I know. Maybe he's still in courtroom number 4. Courtroom number 4? What would he be doing at the scene of the explosion? When I came out to the lobby to rest, I told Apollo about Bumrat Riney. I told him I dropped Riney in the courtroom as I was trying to escape before the blast. And then, Apollo said he had an idea where Riney might be, so we went to take a look together. Huh, I guess Apollo can be pretty nice when he wants to be. So you went looking for Riney together before you were called back into courtroom number 5? Yes, and I had some time to rest, so I was able to go and look for him. But then, they called me into courtroom number 5 to testify. Apollo insisted on staying there, though. With all those injuries, I wonder how he's managing. I think Apollo might have figured something out. Wonder what it was. He told me, I'm going to look for evidence to clear your name, Juniper. Just maybe he found some new piece of evidence. Anyway, we'd better go and get him. Good idea.
I know you're... No.
I can't be dead. How is that possible? He's one of the main characters, he can't be dead. To be continued. Ah, okay. Save game. Saving data. Do not turn the power off. December 18th, 9:34 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 5. This isn't exactly how I envisioned the second day of this trial to start. But given how things ended yesterday... Good morning. The mood sure is tense. Not that that's any surprise. Oh, hey, did you read the paper this morning, boss? Huh? The paper? That came out of left field? You didn't read it, then you don't know the big news. Somebody spotted an abominable snowman way up in the mountains. Tell me you know the difference between a paper and a tabloid, Athena. It might show up in the forest where you live, Junie. So you'd better watch out, okay? Don't think she's in the mood for such ramblings. You really should read the story for yourself. I couldn't even begin to do it justice. Justice? Apollo justice. You shouldn't use that word, I guess. It's a sensitive subject. Oh, poor Apollo. And it's all my fault. Athena. Oh, Judy, what was I thinking? I'm so sorry. What we found yesterday was not Apollo's dead body, thank goodness. He'd been assaulted by someone with a blow to his head and was lying unconscious. We rushed him to the hospital right away and it looks like he's going to pull through. But it was still quite a shock to stumble onto a scene like that. Is Miss Woods alright, Athena? Well, I managed to get her to stop crying. Now she's resting on that sofa over there. I guess she really feels responsible for what happened to Apollo. Poor Junie. She believes that the reason Apollo was attacked is because he was helping her look for something in that courtroom. Oh, guess I can see why she'd think that. By the way, how are you doing? Who, me? Yeah, you. I know you're concerned about Miss Woods, but are you alright? Me? I'm doing just fine, boss. I mean, yeah, it was a huge shock, but I'm alright. People who studied analytical psychology are great at times like these. After all, they've learned how to control their own emotions too. Somehow, I don't think it's as easy as she makes it sound. Is widget on her around her neck any indication to what she feels at the moment? There's no denying she's a real trooper. Apollo doesn't remember a thing, does he? Okay. Yeah, he can't recall anything from the time right before he was assaulted. Nothing about what he was doing in courtroom number 4 or who assaulted him. The doctor said it's probably due to that hit he took to the head. Assaulted in a courtroom of law and losing your memory at that. I know how that feels. But who in the world would do such a thing, huh, Mr. Wright? Grr, just wait till I get my hands on the coward who hurt our Apollo. Now, Athena, I thought you said you were in control of your emotions. Let's just focus on helping Miss Woods, okay? But I admit I'm just as upset as you. Okay, boss, you're right. Apollo's assailant can wait until after we clear Junie's name. That's the spirit. Now, let's see. I'd better check the court record one more time before the trial starts. If memory serves, when I have more than 6 pieces of evidence, I should be able to switch pages with this panel. Earth to Mr. Wright, I'm ready whenever you are. Alright, let's get ready to rumble. Let's get ready to rumble! You bet. With everything that happened with Apollo, I didn't have time for a proper investigation. I can't let that stop me though. I have to get this right for Miss Woods' sake. Woods' sake, and Apollo's too. December 18, 9:50 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 5. Never mind. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Juniper Woods. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is also ready, Your Honor. Now then, I believe I instructed the prosecution to further their investigation. Were you able to locate the remote switch in question? I'm afraid the remote switch is still missing, Your Honor. I must say I'm disappointed, Mr. Payne. Not angry, just disappointed. I apologize, Your Honor. Aha. Looks like the prosecution is just as unprepared as I am. There is a separate matter, however, that I would like to bring up during this trial. There we go. A separate matter, you say, and what might that be? I assume you are aware that another incident occurred during yesterday's trial. I'm speaking, of course, of the assault on Mr. Justice in the ruins of courtroom number 4. Uh-oh, why is he bringing that up? Yes, what a truly harrowing experience it must have been, poor Mr. Justice. At the time of the attack, Mr. Justice was not alone. He was with the defendant, Miss Juniper Woods. He isn't going where I think he's going with this, is he? The prosecution wishes to indict Mr. Woods on the charge of Mr. Justice's assault. Can they do that? I mean, add another charge while the trial is still on the way? Order! Order in the court! Mr. Payne, the incident under deliberation here is the courtroom bombing. Yeah. The assault on Mr. Justice has nothing to do with this trial. But I believe there is a connection between this case and Mr. Justice's assault. Please take a moment to consider these facts. Both events occurred in courtroom number 4. This is the location in courtroom number 4 where the unconscious Mr. Justice was discovered. As you can see, it's quite close to where Detective Arms' body was found. Courtroom number 4 diagram added to the court record. The question is, why did the culprit feel the need to maliciously attack Mr. Justice? Why indeed? What do you believe their motive to be, Mr. Payne? I believe Mr. Justice found something in that courtroom while Miss Woods was with him. Evidence that fingered her as the perpetrator of the bombing. You mean he found some incriminating evidence? Precisely, and so I surmise that the defendant picked up a piece of rubble and hit Mr. Justice on the back of the head in order to silence him. Judy would never do such a thing. She was devastated when we found Apollo hurt like that. Miss Sykes, please control your outbursts. Outbursts. Ahem. It is the prosecution's belief that by deliberating on Mr. Justice's assault, we will draw ever closer to the truth about the courtroom bombing itself. She can't be convicted of hitting Justice during this trial, though, can she? Miss Woods is hereby officially indicted on the charge of assaulting Mr. Justice. Okay. What? Why are you listening to Mr. Toupee over there? Although, considering our conversation yesterday, I think Apollo might have figured something out. Wonder what it was. He told me I'm going to look for evidence to clear your name, Juniper. Maybe the two incidents really are related after all. I would like to start by hearing from the defendant herself. Very well, bailiff. Please bring Miss Woods to the witness stand.
I'm sorry. I can't seem to stop.
How does that help? Miss Woods, guess she's still really upset about Apollo. Miss Woods, you went to the ruins of courtroom number 4 with Mr. Justice, did you not?
Yes, I did.
Hold on, my washing machine is done. I'll be right back. Okay, excuse me. Good, good. If you would then please testify about what happened to the court. Alone with Apollo. During the trial yesterday, I was overcome by a fit of coughing. Apollo stayed with me and we went to the courtroom ruins together. But then I was called back to this courtroom to give testimony. Apollo insisted on staying behind in courtroom number 4. I swear I didn't attack Apollo. Why would I ever hurt such a kind person? So Mr. Justice stayed by your side while you were feeling unwell? What an admirable young man. I thought his loud voice was his only outstanding feature. He may look like a little imp at times, but Apollo can be really nice too. I hope she didn't hurt her wrist backhanding that one, but one has to wonder, why did Mr. Justice stay behind in the ruins? I think Apollo might have figured something out. Something? What kind of something? Something to do with the courtroom bombing, kind of something, I think. Oh, new evidence for the case, was it? That's a very big kind of something indeed. I believe so. He mentioned looking for some evidence when I was called away. Objection! Just as I thought, there is a connection between the two incidents. But the defendant has told a very big lie, Your Honor. What lie is that? When she learned Mr. Justice would be looking for evidence, she attacked him. She attacked him to give herself the chance to destroy that evidence.
No! I never...
Objection!
Miss Woods repaid Mr. Justice's kindness with violence. We found the proof of her foul deeds there in the courtroom ruins. What on earth? Is there a mistake? Like, usually there's a mistake. Like, maybe it's spelled a different way? No. Okay. Assaulted during the trial. Thankfully, he's going to be okay, but he's still at the hospital undergoing treatment. It's not in the diagram. It's not in the diagram. Witness the message you left us. It's written in blood. W-O-O-D-S. Why isn't that? That's right, Your Honor. It says Woods in capital letters.
What?
I submit that Mr. Justice left us with the name of his attacker before he fainted. Apollo's assault photo added to the court record.
No, that can't be true. Why would Apollo write my name?
Mr. Wright, the nerve of him leaving that message. Why would he do this? Hey, don't take it out on me. I don't understand it any more than you do. When we discovered Apollo yesterday. Apollo!
No, ah!
We didn't even have a chance to rush over to him. As soon as security heard Athena scream, they ran in and cordoned off the area. After that, they were there in courtroom number 4 with Apollo the whole time. We couldn't investigate anything ourselves and had to leave everything to the police. Still, I never thought they would find some bloody writing there. Now then, please begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. During the trial yesterday, I was overcome by a fit of coughing. Uh-huh. Apollo stayed with me and we went to the courtroom ruins together. But then I was called back to this courtroom to give testimony. Apollo insisted on staying behind in courtroom number 4. I swear I didn't attack Apollo. Why would I ever hurt such a kind person? Uh-huh. Okay. During the trial yesterday, I was overcome by a fit of coughing. Apollo stayed with me and we went to the courtroom ruins together. Yeah, she had that fit of coughing, so she had to go to the lobby. Apollo stayed with her, and they went to the courtroom ruins together. But then I was called back to this courtroom to give testimony. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. It's completely true. Apollo insisted on staying behind in courtroom number 4. Maybe press here. Why did you suddenly decide to go there? Why exactly did you go to the courtroom ruins? Yeah, that's my question. We went to look for my medicine to stop my coughing. Ah. Your medicine? Why would your medicine be in courtroom number 4? I dropped it in the heat of the moment. Bum Rat Riney. He was keeping my medicine safe for me. He has a little compartment that I can put things in, you see. That's important information, isn't it? And Phony Fanty has the same type of pocket. That's where the bomb was inserted. I had put my medicine for my coughing fits inside Bum Rat Riney. When I told Apollo about it, he said he'd help me go look for him. There was so much rubble in there. I was worried, but there was no rubble or anything in front of the witness stand. Ah? So when we got inside, Apollo went straight there and started looking for my Riney in that area. It was so nice of him to do that for me, in spite of all his injuries. Apollo is so strong and kind, just like the trees of the forest. The way she makes him sound, you'd think Apollo was some kind of ancient god. Oh, wait. So that's why you went to the ruins, I see. That seems to be quite an important fact. Please add it to your testimony, Miss Woods. Yeah, I thought it would be important. Apollo started looking for Bum Riney near the witness stand where there was no rubble. No rubble near the witness stand? Do we have evidence that contradicts this? Do you consider that to be rubble, or, The witness stand is right there. Well, I guess there is no rubble where she would have been standing if she was in the witness stand when the explosion happened, I guess. Uh-huh. Excuse me. Okay, excuse me. That took a bit longer than I thought, but I thought I had a problem with my washing machine. And that was a bit stressful for a little while. Apollo started looking for Bumraini near the witness stand where there was no rubble. Yeah. Is there anything I can present there? They still label it as phony fancy tale. I thought we had already established that that was not possible or something. Okay. Uh-huh. Pop, 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 pop. Press on that. The area around the witness stand, are you sure about that?
I'm sorry. Did I say something wrong?
No, of course not. I was just testing my hearing. Must not upset her. Must not upset her. Yes, I'm sure that's where we searched first. Yeah, well, that didn't yield anything. I probably have to present something here, but what? Is it that? I'm not sure.
Objection!
Okay, well, that seems to be correct. When the music stops, usually it means that this is correct. Typical Phoenix Wright, I guess. So he started the search with the witness stand, you say? That's right. I guess maybe he wanted to start from the furthest point in the room. He was being so brave. And strong. But that's odd. I mean, if Bumraini did indeed lose his tail, I would think that the area where Bumraini must be is an area that got blasted, I guess, by the bomb. So there would be rubble, no? Under the circumstances, he shouldn't have been capable of that. What? What?
But he was, and he still is. He might not look it, but he really is brave and kind, too.
No, that's not the part I'm finding fault with. Someone has a crush on Apollo. What you are claiming is something that no one should have been able to do. But I should think that anyone can be brave and kind if they wanted to be, Mr. Wright. True, anyone can be brave and kind, but if you would please take a look at this diagram. With the courtroom in this state, how was it possible to walk up to the witness stand? Oh, I see your point. The rubble blocks off access to the area around the witness stand. What, you mean the front? I thought looking at where the witness stands, at the stand, would have been enough. Does such a tiny inconsistency even matter? Perhaps the witness is simply misremembering it. Great, now I'm not so sure it matters. A real man doesn't make mountains out of molehills, you know. But that's precisely what Mr. Wright does best. I call slander, Your Honor. So was it really impossible to approach the witness stand? I have to say it's a bit hard to tell with any accuracy from just this diagram. Mr. Payne, do you have any other photos of the crime scene? Let me see, Your Honor. Ah, yes. I have one more. Here it is. It's a more pulled-back version of the photo I presented before. Why did he not include this one in the first place? Huh? What's that hunk of metal on wheels? Mr. Payne, is the metallic object in that photo Mr. Tonate's bomb transport case? That's right. Is there some problem? Ah, yes, that transport case was there in the courtroom number 4 when the bomb went off. It must have been there ever since.
Oh, that's it.
Miss Woods, have you remembered something?
Yes, I just realized its position. It's different from before.
Its position? The position of what?
The position of that big metal thing.
The bomb transport case?
Yes, when Apollo and I went there, it was in a different place. Where the case is in the photo was open space, so it was easy to search the stand.
I see, so where was the transport case when you and Mr. Justice saw it?
That's the case, then that thing that was right there in the middle.
I wasn't sure what that was. That looked like a very well-defined shape on the floor plan. I don't know what to call it. As I recall, I think it was more to the right. To the right? Then that means, in that case, the case was over there at the time of Apollo's attack. Who cares where the transport case was when? What difference does it make? Can it be moved by anyone? What am I doing? Rudy, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, he's the one who has the key, but, well, I guess it can be moved without the key, right? Oh, excuse me. It has nothing at all to do with what we were talking about.
Objection!
Maybe it does. Where the transport case was has everything to do with this discussion. In fact, it's so important that it's enough to turn the prosecution's argument on its ear. Oh, what? Well, that certainly sounds very relevant indeed. And you sound as though you know where the case was at the time of the attack. Yes, Your Honor, this diagram represents the crime scene as shown in the photo. And this is where the transport case was at the time of the assault on Mr. Justice. Alright, I have this. The bomb transport case was here at the time of Apollo's attack. Here.
Take that!
More to the right, she said. Is this gonna be correct? But that's inconceivable! Miss Woods, was this where the transport case was when you saw it?
Yes, that's where it was.
Thank you, Miss Woods. I'm sure the court has noted an interesting fact about this position. The transport case covers up the writing in blood. Exactly, if the transport case was in that position at the time of the assault, then no message could have been written there because the case was in the way. Which leads us to conclude that Mr. Justice couldn't have left that bloody writing. Objection! Why should we believe the defendant's claim that the case was in a different position? She's obviously lying.
Objection!
The fact that the case was moved after the assault on Mr. Justice is proved by more than Miss Woods' testimony alone. What? And where is this proof you're talking about? It's right here in the crime photo. I'm keen to see this proof myself, Mr. Wright. Ah, yeah, the tracks. The track marks or whatever. Like it's been dragged or something. Well, the wheels have left, tracks anyway. Or you can show these, I guess.
Take that!
Take that! All the proof you'll need, Your Honor, is right here. What? I'm afraid I don't follow? What do you mean you don't follow? I'm sensing feelings of doubts from you, which means you're just taking a wild stab in the dark, aren't you? Ouch, you're good. I bet you can also tell how I'm about to feel in a few seconds too. You surrender yourself a penalty, but I was showing the tracks. Isn't that what I'm supposed to show?
That's what I was showing. Sucks that I take a penalty because the thing doesn't make sense. What, here? Does that look more obvious?
Take that!
Is it not the marks of the wheels? Maybe I'm supposed to show this spot in particular because it shows that the drag marks are over the bandage.
Take that!
Ah, okay, yeah, that's what I missed. Okay, yeah, the other marks would have shown only that it has been moved, but not when it was moved. Here it was moved after he fell. Please take a look at the mark that runs over Mr. Justice's bandages here. I see it, but what is it? This mark was made by one of the casters from the transport case carrying the bomb. As the case was moved, it ran over his bandages. In other words, the transport case was originally to the right of Mr. Justice. Then after Mr. Justice was assaulted, the transport case was moved. What? Just as Mr. Woods said, the case was covering the writing at the time of the assault. Therefore, it was impossible for Mr. Justice to have left that message in blood. No! He hasn't lost all his hair yet. You did it, boss. It was a real nail biter, but you pulled it off. Okay. Yep, that should bring down the prosecution's claim like a house of cards. Order! Order in the court! Mr. Wright, that was a very clever deduction. Oh, it was nothing, Your Honor. Nothing but pure genius. Take that. Boss, I'm sensing a definite smug and braggy vibe coming off of you. I have just one question, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? Mr. Justice didn't leave this message in blood. Then who did? Huh? What? Oh. Well, looks like I should have taken that train of thought through to the last station. Well, I've heard a lot about this. So this is Mr. Wright's famous bluffing technique, is it? Ah, this feeling, it brings back memories of the old days. Back when you carved out a name for yourself by bluffing your way through thick and thin. Gee, Mr. Wright, the judge kind of makes you sound no better than a two-bit con man. You made your argument with such confidence, Mr. Wright. Now I'd like to hear your answer with just as much confidence. Hey, until the judge asked the question, you didn't catch on either, Buster. What now, boss? I hope you didn't bluff your way into a corner. Think, Phoenix, think. There must be a way through this. I have to dig my way to the truth somehow. Who could have written that message in blood? The culprit? Apollo? Someone else? Keep hearing things. If Apollo didn't leave that bloody writing, maybe it was Apollo's attacker who wrote it and made it look like Apollo did it? That seems like the most reasonable explanation. But wait a minute, I just realized something, boss. What is it? Look at the amount of blood in the photo. doesn't look like Apollo bled very much. I wonder if it's even possible to write out Woods with just as much. Hey, you're right. Good thing Apollo didn't lose that much blood. That might be a factor in why he survived the assault. And since there was so little blood, that pretty much rules out his attacker, huh? I guess so, but if it wasn't his attacker, then who else could it have been? Who could have written that message in blood? Well, someone else. If it wasn't Apollo, who could have left that bloody message? Take that! I'm trying. I have no proof, nothing to go on, but this person left the bloody writing? And what do you base this claim on? Do I really need to base my claim on something? Boss, of course you do. Don't tell me you don't have anything at all to back up your assertion. Nothing in particular, really. The cutscene at the beginning of the chapter. That won't do, Mr. Wright, but a penalty will make up for your deficiency very nicely. Ouch. So it wasn't Apollo or his attacker. When you think about who was at the crime scene, there's only one other person who it could really be. Oh yeah, wasn't there another person who shed blood at the crime scene? The victim of the other murder? Her? To be honest, I don't actually have any real proof of this. But I've come this far. There is no turning back now. Besides Apollo, there was one more person who shed blood at the crime scene. A person who shed blood? You don't mean... Oh, but I do. I believe it was Candace's arm who left behind this message in blood. What? Why would she have done that, though? What? Detective Arm? Are you sure you know what you're doing here? Not really. Objection! What kind of ridiculous assertion is that? If you had said the attacker left the message to throw people off, it might have made sense. At first glance, that would seem to be the most reasonable explanation. However, Apollo didn't shed enough blood to write such an extensive message. Ah, I see. Even the photo makes it clear there wasn't enough blood to write all those letters. And Mr. Justice did survive. I suppose he didn't bleed very extensively in that case. But why would Detective Arm write the defendant's name? There is no connection between the two whatsoever. And I didn't even know the lady who was killed. I admit the investigation didn't turn up any connection between the victim and the defendant. Maybe that's not what she wrote, though. If you look at it spelled the other way, and there may be something missing, I thought in the image before, there seemed to be something after the S that was missing. Doesn't it kind of look like there should have been something else? Yeah, but even if you kind of look at it the other way... Yeah, the D would be not written the right way, so no. No, probably not. But it looks like part of the tile is missing. Part of the text is missing. They had never even met each other. That's very true. Well then, let's see. Then maybe the intended meaning of the message is not what it appears to be. What did I just say? The intended meaning? Not what it appears to be? Maybe the message was not intended to be Woods. Coming from you, that's quite the bold statement, Mr. Wright. You wish to assert that this bloody writing could have some other meaning? Yes, Your Honor. For something I pulled out of a wormhole, it could turn out to be true, right? Well, we do have kind of proof of that, I guess, if you let me point at the exact spot in the photo. It clearly says woods, as anyone can plainly see. What other meaning could it possibly have?
Objection!
But Candace Arm was a detective. Maybe woods only means something to the police. Like a police scanner code, for example. I didn't think of that. Heh. You may have tricked this honor, but you'll never get the best of me. I have a thing for studying on the weekends, as you may have already guessed. And there is no such radio code as woods in this state, dear Mr. Wright. Is that a fact? Heh. Don't look at me. I know as much as you do about police codes. Enough of this. I was quite taken with the defense's new theory. But if they can't substantiate it with anything, then I must end things here. No, please wait, Your Honor. Very well, but before we discuss this theory any further, I demand a plausible explanation. So, Mr. Wright, what is the true meaning of the bloody writing? Well, I believe it's... And no stalling. If you can't come up with an answer quickly, I will declare this discussion finally over. I'm in trouble now. What other meaning could it have besides the obvious one? Maybe it means something in another language, or maybe it's a code. Think, Phoenix, you can do this. Which one will tell us? Well, I see nothing on this one. Well, I don't see how it could be what's written on this thing too. I guess this one? I'll save before I do anything, because I don't want to run out of chances.
Take that!
What exactly is your point, Mr. Wright? I thought this evidence was supposed to tell me what woods really means. But doesn't it, Your Honor? No. Are you asking me or telling me? I guess I'll let you be the judge of that. Ha ha ha. Yes, I'll do the judging around here, and I judge that you deserve a penalty. Yikes. Return to the title screen. It's my all-important badge, proof of my profession. I don't know. This one? It's not like we have a million different ones either, so woods width. No. No. Alloy plating. I don't know.
Take that!
A wild guess? Nah, it's just the same generic answer as before. Okay, that's not the one. No! Ah. Didn't mean to do that. My badge.
Take that!
No, it's not. That's not it, is it? Okay.
I'm just trying things blindly because I really don't see where this is going.
Take that!
This? The bomb transport case? Don't ask me, I don't know. I don't know where this is going. I've about had it up to here with your shenanigans, Mr. Wright. Take a look at the numbers on this case, Your Honor. What, you think it could mean woods? How? Doesn't this string look vaguely familiar? L100? What does that have to do with anything? What could those numbers possibly have to do with the case at hand? Now please take a look at the bloody writing shown in the crime photo. I think I see it. Good for you, I don't. That a girl. That's one on my side. It says woods. Or you could say it's a horse of a different color, Your Honor. The first character isn't a W, it's actually an L and a 1. That's quite a stretch. The next two are zeros. I don't see it myself. Oh my goodness. The true meaning behind the bloody writing isn't Mrs. Woods' name. It's the number engraved on this bomb transport case. What are you talking about? The next part doesn't make any sense. The next number is a 1, but the bloody writing says D. But the number on the case and the bloody writing can be made to match up quite easily. This is how the number on the transport case can be made to match the bloody writing. Heck if I know. Erase 2 lines. An L and a 1. I don't even see the L1. RS. If it's supposed to be RS. I know 5R. 15R. Okay, yeah. And then the missing part, the R, is what's missing. Yeah, the curve that makes the D, I guess. All you have to do is erase one line from the writing. Erase one line from where? The D. Anywhere you like? Anywhere I'd like? Alright, I'll erase one of the O's. Woods? What's that supposed to mean? Your state of mind. I believe it stands for wise, optimistic, dauntless, and serene. Boss, what in the world? This is no time for a psychology test. Yikes. I can't say my state of mind is exactly serene right now, Mr. Wright. It's always hard to explain to the game what exactly I am reasoning. Yeah, please refrain from making things up as you go along. This is how the number on the transport case can be made to match the bloody writing. Erase 2 lines? I don't know. There are only 3 choices anyway. Well, I guess if you erase the one from the D and the one from the W, yeah. Yeah, but I was only thinking about the D. Well, would you look at that? L-I-O-O-I-S. No, Your Honor, it isn't meant to be read as a word. It's the number L10015, and then the rest is missing. Which, if you take away the final R, is the exact same number that's on the bomb transport case. Erase 2 lines and they match up, you say?
Well, I can change anything into anything else simply by erasing 2 lines. What if we erase 2 lines from your name? Would you be happy as Mr. Wright? Well, would you, Mr. Wright? The only right spelling is right. Okay, I'm doing pretty well here, and I think I've drawn the right conclusion. Detective Arm's real message to us is the bomb transport case number. Your Honor, the 2 lines were added by the real culprit to intentionally mislead people. What? The original message Detective Arm left behind was the transport case number. But whoever assaulted Apollo changed the message. If you're right, boss, then what do you suppose Detective Arm was trying to tell us? Good question. What does this number represent? Do you see this number here? That is my identification number. Candace Arm lost her life in the courtroom bombing. Her dying message could only have had one purpose. No! To tell us the name of the one responsible for the bombing. Well, don't keep us in suspense, Mr. Wright. Tell us who she was trying to name. The culprit that the victim was trying to identify is none other than... Detonate. The defense wishes to indict Miss Detonate on the charge of the courtroom bombing. Detonate? Apparently disabling bombs isn't Mr. Detonate's only specialty. Somehow the victim must have realized that he was the bomber. So when she was caught in the blast, she left his bomb transport case number as her dying message. She used Mr. Detonate's own ID number to finger him to the crime. Objection! Why would anyone go out of their way to write an ID number? Wouldn't they simply write the person's name? He's got a good point there. What do you have to say to that, Mr. Wright? That only Detective Arm would know the answer to that, but allow me to offer a theory. Perhaps Detective Arm couldn't recall Mr. Detonate's name in the heat of the moment. As I recall, this was the first meeting between the two. It's entirely possible they wouldn't have been familiar with each other. Or maybe using the ID number was a way to hide its true meaning from the real culprit, thus lowering the odds that they would erase the bloody writing. But no matter what the reason, the important thing is the meaning behind the message. The fact remains, she wrote Mr. Detonate's ID number. Now, just one moment here. There hasn't been any proof yet that it was indeed Detective Arm who wrote it. The bloody writing wasn't found during the investigation after the blast. If Detective Arm had left a message, it should have been found at that time. Naturally, Mr. Detonate hid it before anyone could discover it, and there is a simple explanation for how he was able to do so. What? Mr. Detonate was able to cover the message up because he's a stickler for details, wearing those weird goggles, the first to find the body.
I'm not sure.
I'll save. Mr. Detonate was able to cover the message up because he's... cover the message up. It's the only thing that makes sense to me among all these answers. The first person to discover the bloody writing was Mr. Detonate himself. I was the first one on the scene after the explosion. I went there to ensure safety, but I ended up discovering a dead body. When Mr. Detonate saw that the victim had written his ID number, he used the bomb transport case to cover up the bloody writing as a stopgap measure. Oh, so that's why the message in blood was under the transport case. It didn't have enough time to try and scrub away the writing. If he didn't report the body right away, it would look suspicious. So those letters lived on to serve another function, when Mr. Detonate used them in another incident. Oh, the assault on Mr. Justice! Exactly, Mr. Detonate hit upon a plan to use the bloody writing for his own purposes. So he didn't clean it away, instead he made it look like Mr. Justice wrote it, by adding 2 lines to the writing that Detective Arm left behind. He changed the meaning of the message. He made it look like Mr. Justice was accusing Miss Woods of the attack. So that means the only person who could have altered the bloody writing was the courtroom bomber, who was the same person that assaulted Mr. Justice. And that person is Tetanate. Order in the court! Order, I say! It looks like we will have to hear from the bomb specialist himself. Mr. Payne, please have Mr. Tanate take the witness stand. Yes, Your Honor. That was great, Mr. Wright. Just doing what I do best, which is flying by the seat of my pants. Dismantling the case is yours. Do you think you can handle it? I look forward to seeing you try. I finally drawn Mr. Tanate back onto the witness stand. Looks like you'll get your wish, Goggle Man. Now watch me take your lies apart. Mr. Tanate, I'm afraid we have a few more questions for you. I understand the situation, Your Honor. I was keeping a close eye on the proceedings from the gallery. The allegations are all laughable.
Objection!
I wouldn't be laughing if I were you, Mr. Tanate. The message in blood matches your ID number. The same ID number that is there on that bomb transport case. Such a far-fetched theory. No better than a tangled ball of wires. I'll have them untangled for you in no time at all. You were the first person on the scene after Detective Arm left her message in blood. You were the only one who could have hidden the writing and then used it again later. I see times two, but then let me ask you. Do you have any proof that Detective Arm wrote that message? That's a very good question. Well, do you, Mr. Wright? The best way to prove that Detective Arm wrote that message is to analyze the handwriting, analyze the DNA. If you analyze the DNA, you can determine whose blood was used, but not necessarily who wrote it. The handwriting would be more conclusive, I think. Oops. Your Honor, I request a handwriting analysis be performed on the bloody writing. A handwriting analysis? I'm sorry, but that's just not possible. Huh? Unlike writing done with a pen, for example, a message written with a finger is difficult to properly analyze for unique characteristics. And with such a small a sample, it would be even more difficult to analyze. There's gotta be another way. Well, the DNA then. But that will only tell us whose blood was used, not necessarily who wrote the message. Your Honor, I request that a DNA test be performed on the blood itself. Once we know whose it is, it will be obvious as to who wrote the message. I disagree, but well. Very well. Bailiff, please put in a request for a DNA test with the forensics team. Yes, Your Honor. It will be some time before we have the results of the analysis. Until then, let's hear more from the witness. I would like nothing more, Your Honor. I want the court to hear how ridiculous the defense's theory is. After the explosion. I admit I was the first one on the scene after the explosion, but there was no bloody writing there at the time. Anyway, there is no way Detective Arm could have written it. She struck her head on rubble and died near the courtroom entrance. She was too far away from where the bloody message was found. So you're saying that the victim's body was nowhere near where the writing was? Precisely. It is as plain as day that she could not have written it. It's true that the body was discovered near the entrance of the courtroom. Please have a look at this crime scene photo. As you can see, there is blood on the rubble near the victim's body. She must have died after hitting her head there. Courtroom bombing photo added to the court record. I see. Alright then, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Do you have what it takes to take my infallible testimony apart? After the explosion. I admit I was the first one on the scene after the explosion, but there was no bloody writing there at the time. Anyway, there is no way Detective Arm could have written it. She had struck her head on rubble and died near the courtroom entrance. She was too far away from where the bloody message was found. The victim's body and the writing are several yards away from each other. There is no way she could reach. Quite the conundrum. So that means something is off somewhere. There must be a contradiction. Maybe the body was moved. But that doesn't explain how blood got onto the rubble. What if that was done by the real culprit after the fact? If that's the case, then something about that might contradict the evidence we have. I admit I was the first one on the scene after the explosion. But there was no bloody writing there at the time. Anyway, there is no way Detective Arm could have written it. She had struck her head on rubble and died near the courtroom entrance. Okay, hold on, because we have new evidence related to that, don't we? No? I thought we did. This one? But on the other photo, she has blood on her finger, though. Doesn't she? No, she doesn't. Okay, my bad. My mistake. I don't see what I'm supposed to spot. Trauma to back of the head caused by impact with a flat object. Time of death between 8 and 11 a.m. What time did it explode, by the way? Do we know for sure? Let's press, I suppose. Do you imagine she was thrown back out by the force of the blast? A bomb can inflict damage not only from the explosion itself, but also substantial secondary damage from the blast wind. Detective Arm unfortunately hit her head on some rubble. It's stated in her autopsy report as well. Cause of death, trauma to back of the head. Yeah. The autopsy report. I'd better take another look at that. Now, do you see? Detective Arm could not have written that message. She didn't die. The reason for that being... Do we know that for sure? I'll save. But if I present the autopsy reports here, I guess.
Objection!
There we go. Okay. You are a turbo liar, Mr. Tenate. Take a look at this autopsy, specifically the part about Detective Arm's head injury. Cause of death, trauma to back of head caused by impact with a flat object. Yeah, true. It's not flat, the thing that we see in the picture. Yes, what about it? Now take a good look at the bloody piece of rubble. It's sharp. Hey, you're right, boss. It is pointy. Sharp and pointy, I guess he said. Just like your hair. That is odd, isn't it? What could be the meaning of this contradiction? I believe it means the victim did not hit her head on this piece of rubble. The bloodstain you see is just another fabrication. Its purpose is to mislead us into thinking the victim died near the courtroom entrance. Are you claiming the culprit moved the victim's body? That's exactly what I'm claiming. The victim hit her head at some other location, most likely on the floor or some other flat surface, and this location was somewhere near where the bloody writing was found. In that case, she definitely could have written the message. Your Honor, I have the results of the bloodstain analysis. Ah, very good timing. Let's take a look. According to this report, the message was written in Detective Arm's blood, and as the defense claims, only the parts of the message that were added afterwards were written in Mr. Justice's blood. It would appear that the defense's assertion is correct after all. Bloody writing analysis added to the court record, okay? Yes, you did it. You were right, boss. Now I have to drive it home. I'll have to take a good look at the bloody writing analysis later. Mr. Tenate, it is now apparent that you have told several lies to this court. I hope you have some sort of explanation for yourself. Fine, I will confess. Confess. Confess what? Not murder, I guess. You will? But then why are you so calm? This time I will tell the truth. The truth. It is true that Detective Arm wrote my ID number. She very plainly wrote this. I was shocked. But I did not detonate the bomb. Detective Arm must have mistaken me for the real bomber. Not wanting to be accused, I moved the body and covered the writing. My bad. I see. So it is your assertion that you merely moved the body, is that it? That is correct. I did not kill Detective Arm. Oh, what if that's all you did then? Wait a minute! That in and of itself is a criminal act. Glad to see you finally crossed that finish line, Your Honor. Very well then. Yeah, it was like, oh well, if it's all you did, then it's perfectly okay then. Your cross-examination, please, Mr. Wright. It is true that Detective Arm wrote my ID number. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. She very plainly wrote this. I was shocked, but I did not detonate the bomb. Detective Arm must have mistaken me for the real bomber. Do we have anything that would contradict what he says there? That the body couldn't have been moved? What if this is the murder weapon then? It is flat. I want to press I did not detonate the bomb.
Hold it!
Because I expect that he would have hit her on the head with the detonator and that's why it couldn't be found. Didn't you? The victim may have had special knowledge of who the bomber was. I have no idea what thoughts Detective Arm may have had inside her head. It's not like I ever dismantled her mind to check. Mr. Wright, if you have suspicions about the witness, let's see your proof. Evidence is everything in a court of law. Even school children know that. How many years have you been a defense attorney now? Cut me some slack, will you? Don't feel bad, boss. You just got your attorney's badge back, after all. In that sense, you're still more of a beginner than I am. I suppose I should be thankful. You're not a licensed psychologist. They were gonna ask me... Ah, no, okay, never mind. They didn't ask me for proof. With pleasure, my ID number was left at the scene, but... How do you know that? She wrote that R thing. Is this what I think it is? Maybe not. I'm not sure. Because in all the pictures we have, there's a piece missing.
Objection!
Ah, maybe that's it. I just want to make doubly sure that L10015R is really what you saw written in blood. Yes, it very clearly said that. But that's odd because that's not what I see. Uh-huh. What on earth are you babbling on about now? Wasn't it you who claimed that the bloody writing was his ID number in the first place? Take a good look at the photo in the bloody writing analysis. Now tell me, does it really say L10015R? Oh! Eep. Something is missing, isn't it? And that something is the final R. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Tonate? Oh, right, now I remember. There was no R on the end. It was just a slip of the finger. My bad. Come back, my beautiful contradiction. Mr. Wright, I'm not so sure it was just a simple slip of the finger. You have something for me, Athena? I sense that he's extremely agitated, almost panicked. He does look pretty flustered. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that it was nothing more than a mere mistake. I don't know. Did he really just make a typo? What about that R? Did Mr. Tonate really see it? He actually saw it. Maybe maybe the murder weapon was the bit of rubble that had the R on it, and not the detonator. But I think the detonator makes more sense though. Maybe Mr. Tonate really did see the R, but there's no R anywhere in the bloody writing. What's going on here? Huh? Now that I take another good look at the photo, I think maybe that's it. What is it now, Mr. Wright? Are you trying to imitate Apollo and his cords of steel? I got it. So that's what happened. A slip of the finger. Is that really all it was? Because I don't think so. I propose that Mr. Tonate really did see the letter R. But the photo clearly shows that there is no R. No, Your Honor, actually just the opposite is true. The photo shows that Mr. Tonate actually could have seen the R. If you're going to make that claim, then you'd better be able to point out what you mean. What part of the photo shows that Mr. Tonate could have seen the R? It's still partly visible if that's what we're gunning at. Please look here to the right of the 5. Do you see a little bit of red? Oh, I see it, just on the edge of where the floor is broken up. That's the R that Mr. Tonate saw. It's true that the witness wears some very odd goggles. But that doesn't mean his eyesight is bad, nor his brain power. What part of that little smudge looks like an R to you? But what Mr. Tonate saw wasn't that little smudge. There was a whole and complete R written there, before the floor was damaged by the explosion. Oh well, that explains it. Huh? Care to explain what you mean? Because you just proposed that everything happened in the exact opposite order. Yep, because that's the way it really went down. The timing of when the R was written turns everything about this case around. Now then, if the floor was damaged by the explosion, when was the message written? Before the explosion. With the bloody message running off the edge of the damaged floor like that. I can only conclude that it was written before the explosion. But that's ridiculous! If that were true, it overturns your own premise. That's right, it does. In fact, it turns everything upside down. The victim was not killed by the explosion in the courtroom. She was killed before the explosion ever occurred. Order! Order in the court! What kind of preposterous claim is that? Have you forgotten that the victim's body was found at the scene of the explosion?
Objection!
True, but consider this scenario. She was hit on the head and killed before the explosion, or even before the trial began. Her body was subsequently placed in the courtroom ruins after the bombing occurred. That way it could be made to look like she was a victim of the blast. What? It sounds like we had better look into what the victim was doing before the trial. Mr. Payne, did anyone see Detective Arm before the trial? Let's see. According to the police report, here it is. One person saw the victim before the trial, and that person was Ted Tonate. Wait, what? No one besides Mr. Tonate saw the victim? That appears to be the case, Your Honor. Tick, 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 tick. I would now ask the court to recall something. Specifically, Mr. Tonate's words from yesterday. It was when Detective Arm and I were transporting the bomb. Oh my, Mr. Tonate, just before the trial, you were with the victim. The two of you were together at the scene of the crime, courtroom number 4. Your Honor, the defense requests new testimony from Mr. Tonate. We wish to hear what he has to say about his whereabouts just before the trial. Mr. Tonate, your testimony, please. My testimony? There is no need for... He's completely unnerved, Mr. Wright. Must have hit the nail on the head. Because all I did was transport the bomb to the courtroom. I already told you... Blast this thing. I was only in the courtroom with the victim because of our work. I swear I was only transporting the bomb there. You and the victim were alone together at the scene of the crime. In other words, you certainly had the opportunity to commit murder, did you not? Do you always leave yourself so open to attacks, Mr. Wright? What now, Mr. Payne? Yes, Mr. Tonate may have had the opportunity to kill Detective Arm, but an important piece of your assertion is missing. What important piece? The murder weapon. What do you claim was used to kill the victim? Mr. Payne has a point. Even if Mr. Tonate had the chance without a weapon, we can't accuse him of the crime. Well, Mr. Tonate? Oh, yes, that's right. I didn't have any sort of thing that could be used as a murder weapon on me. I couldn't possibly have killed Detective Arm. Did you really have nothing you could use as a murder weapon? What is it, Athena? Just looking over the victim's autopsy report, I'm hoping there's something in here that can point us in the right direction. Well, it does say that she died from trauma to the back of the head with a flat object. Yeah, and to inflict that specific kind of injury, all you would need is a flat surface, right? A heavy blunt object with a flat surface could definitely be our murder weapon. Well, Mr. Wright, can you indicate for the court what was used to kill Detective Arm? I believe I can. Believe being the key word here. You can? Then please do so now. What did Mr. Tonate have that could have been used as a murder weapon?
Take that!
It's missing. There's a reason. This must have been the murder weapon, huh? Don't be ridiculous. Aha, you fell right into my trap. So you confirm that this piece of evidence was not the murder weapon? That narrows my candidates down by 1. I hope you don't intend to answer by process of elimination, Mr. Wright. What? It made sense! And now I'm down to, in my opinion, it could have. And that would explain why it disappeared. If that really was the murder weapon. Not that. The bomb itself?
Take that!
Mr. Tonate, you say you didn't have anything that could be used as a weapon? But in fact, you had the perfect thing. What? What the devil are you talking about? You had this. That's the bomb. I thought you were trying to prove that the victim wasn't killed by the bomb blast. The bomb blast, no, but I believe Candace's arm was killed with this bomb. Because this is the blunt object that delivered the fatal blow to her head. Please recall the description of Detective Arm's head wound. Trauma to the back of the head caused by impact with a flat object. We assumed this injury was sustained when her head hit the floor. But a blow from any flat side of this bomb would produce the exact same wound pattern. Okay, please lose it for me. In a spectacular fashion. What's with him? Then show me some proof. Where's the evidence that I hit the victim with the bomb? Yeah, the bomb went off. He's right. I don't have anything decisive. Did you find any of the victim's blood on the bomb? That would be decisive proof. But too bad, the bomb is blown to bits. It's long gone. Boom! Game over. Yeah. Mr. Wright, is there really nothing on the bomb in the photo? But it's cracked. I don't see any blood or anything. Wait, the timer display is a little broken here. Maybe it broke when it made contact with Detective Arm's head. That's definitely a distinct possibility, but unless we find a fragment with the victim's blood on it, it's not going to count. I guess you're right. By setting off the bomb, Tonate managed to obliterate all traces of the murder weapon. What in the world do I do now? At times like this, I've got to change gears and look at things in a different way. Instead of looking for the things he wasn't able to hide, I should be looking for a way to expose the things he did hide. Ted Tonate murdered Detective Arm before the trial started. Then he placed her body in the courtroom after the bomb went off, which means there was something he needed to keep hidden until then. And I think I have just the thing. Time to present the photo that shows exactly what Mr. Tonate has to hide. He says I have to present the photo. That's probably not it. That's probably not it. Judging from the reaction, don't think that's it. No,
Take that!
that's not it. But come on, man. Is it the picture where she has no blood on her finger? Yeah, this one maybe.
Take that!
Yeah. She didn't write, but no. No, that doesn't make sense actually. Okay, well, the reason I picked the photo was completely wrong, but that might be the right one. Your Honor, there is something we've all been overlooking. If the murder took place before the trial, then Mr. Tonate would have had to hide the body somewhere during the trial. Hey, you're right. And if we can figure out where that hiding place was, exactly, we might be able to find some evidence we can pin him down with. So where could Mr. Tonate have hidden the body during the trial? The bomb box thing?
Take that!
Wait, a box big enough for a body, a box that was in the courtroom the whole time. A box nobody would touch if they thought there was a bomb in it. Mr. Tonate! What is it? Do you finally have some decisive evidence to show me? No, you're the one who's going to show it to me. Come again? You heard me. Now show me what's inside that bomb transport case. What? Why? No, there's no need. I've got him now. Just before the trial, you killed the victim with a blunt object, and then you placed her body in the ruins of the courtroom after the bomb went off. Clearly you were trying to make it look like she died in the explosion, but where was the body hidden during the trial? Oh, I hadn't thought of that. The answer is right here. inside a box made of thick alloy plating that can withstand any impact. No, that's completely false. If it's false, you should have no objections to showing us your transport case. So, let's open it up and take a look inside, shall we? Hold it! Let's not. Not if you value your life. What's he up to now? Remain calm and listen carefully. This bomb will detonate in 5 minutes. What? Huh? I repeat, this HH-3000 will detonate in 5 minutes. What's going on? Your Honor, I recommend you adjourn this trial before this bomb goes off. Mr. Tonate, are you threatening me? I am the only one who can disable this bomb. If you do not want to die, your only option is to listen to me. But Mr. Tonate, didn't you say that's just a training model, a fake to practice on? I did, but I also lied. This is a real deal. This is the HH-3000. But the HH-3000 was used to blow up the courtroom number 4, wasn't it? How do you know it was the real HH-3000 that blew up the courtroom number 4? Huh? The bomb that blew up the courtroom was a different one. One that I made. What? Then are we to take that as a confession on your part? Take it any way you would like. Just before the trial, I took the HH-3000 out of the stuffed animal and put my own bomb into it. That was the bomb that exploded and destroyed courtroom number 4. Mr. Tonate, please be reasonable. Do you really expect us to believe a crazy story like that? The HH-3000, it is so unique. I had never seen anything like it. It is so unique that I could not replicate the detonation mechanism, so I just had to have it. Besides, did anyone look inside the stuffed animal during the trial? Did anyone check to see if it really was the HH-3000 in there? I must confess, no one opened the stuffed animal to check. So there really is a possibility that the bomb was switched out? No, not a possibility, a certainty. I did it. So he's had a real bomb with him this whole time? You had better get out of here while you can. You do not have much time. Order! Order in the court! I'm out of here! It's gonna blow! Run! You 4 are still here? Well, well, aren't you brave? It just wouldn't do for the judge presiding over this court to run. But that horrible explosion the other day. The judge looks like he's about to book it for the nearest exit any second. And Mr. Payne. That is... Ah! He ran for it. And he's off. Mr. Wright, what do we do? It'd be pretty pathetic to run now, wouldn't it? But the bomb might really go off. Only 3 more minutes, folks. Is that bomb really the HH-3000? What should I do? Run like a yellow-bellied chicken. Do we have any evidence that shows that? Well, the HH-3000 can be detonated remotely, it says. Does it really need a timer then? I can't run now. Well, it's been fun, but I will be going now. With my dear, dear HH-3000, naturally. Oh, and by the way, I would advise against having me followed. Even with no remote switch, this bomb can still be triggered manually. Ah, okay. If I think I'm being followed, I will detonate it on the spot. Farewell.
Hold it!
You're not going anywhere, Detonate. Oh? Your Honor, there's no reason to be afraid. That bomb is a fake. Are you sure, Mr. Wright? More of your famous bluffing? Even at the risk of your own life? Mr. Wright, none of your bluffing now, not at a time like this. Lives are on the line here. I'm not bluffing and I have proof. You do? Yes, of course, Your Honor. It's right here in the photo of the bomb, clear as day. Prove that Mr. Tonate's bomb is not the real HH-3000. Really? Out with it then, immediately! Where is the proof that what Mr. Tonate is holding is not the real... What, because of the cracked screen? Instead of the wires, it doesn't have any wire coming out of it, I guess. I hope I'm right. I should save.
Take that!
The display for the timer on the bomb in the photo is broken. Most likely it broke when Mr. Tonate used the bomb to attack Detective Arm. But the display on the bomb in front of us is not broken. Oh, you're right. Therefore, this is not the real HH-3000. Mr. Tonate was clearly lying when he said he switched out the bomb in the stuffed animal. The real HH-3000 blew up in the courtroom number 4. This bomb is nothing more than a fake, a model used for training purposes. Ah! Fear not, Your Honor. I would examine the inside of the bomb transport case myself. Yes, please do that, Mr. Wright. No! Stop! And there's blood inside. What is that? Is that a blood stain? Just as I expected. Your lies have all been blown to bits, Mr. Tonate. I'm confident DNA analysis of this blood stain will confirm that it's Detective Arm's blood, and that those results will conclusively prove that you murdered her. How about it, Mr. Tonate? Think you can dismantle this decisive evidence? Dismantle it? Ha 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 ha! You're too late. You missed your chance to run, so now you're out of time. This HH-3000 is about to explode! Don't try to threaten us, Mr. Tonate. I've already proved that your bomb is a fake. It's real! This bomb is the real thing, I tell you! It's real! Ha 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 ha! Hee 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 ha ha ha, etc. etc. Mad Bomber, party of one. There's no time left, it's going to blow! I have to disarm it! I have to take it apart! I can dismantle anything. I can take apart evidence. I can take apart bombs. I can dismantle it all. Dismantle, 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 dismantle. Okay, he's completely lost it. I love it. I'm not gonna make it. Only one thing left to do. Stop. Okay. Made it. Okay. Game over. Dismantle attempt failed. That's it. I guess my client is not guilty. It's all over. My life has been blown to pieces. It's all that stupid woman's fault. I was selling the bombs I disarmed on the black market. When I tried to take this one, she just had to notice, didn't she? She confronted me in the courtroom number 4 that day. That's why I had no choice. Before I knew what I was doing, I hit her. It's all her fault. While I was looking for a place to hide her body, she left a message in her own blood. The trial was about to start, so I didn't have time to clean it up, and now all this. I thought for sure I could disguise her death with an explosion. Then that stupid defense attorney started sticking his nose into my business. After my testimony yesterday, I went to courtroom number 4, and I found that kid all up in my bomb transport case. That's when I snuck up behind him, and bam! And when the idiot police arrested that little girl, I thought for sure I could pin it all on her. Why? Oh, why? Tonate, you are hereby under arrest. On suspicion of the courtroom bombing and the assault on Mr. Justice, your innocence or guilt will be determined at a later trial. Now then, I see that members of the public have returned to the gallery. One person, however, seems to still be running far, far away. Be that as it may, I will now announce Miss Juniper Woods' verdict. Not guilty. He's not here. He's gone. Court is adjourned. You did it, boss! Yeah, I guess we managed to pull it off somehow. So many mysteries cleared up all at once. It was amazing. It just sort of worked out that way, didn't it? That's not the kind of thing that usually just works out. You made it happen. And the way that mean old prosecutor hightailed it out of here, that was great. Mr. Wright, Fenna, thank you for everything you did for me. I'm so happy for you, Junie. Now you can go back home to the forest in peace. I hope the both of you will come and visit me there sometime. That would be nice. Thank you for the invitation. I don't know, Mr. Wright. I'm not so sure you could make it all the way up to Junie's house. How high up do you live again, Junie? Around 3,000 feet, I think. What? That's not forest, that's a mountain. It's a plateau. But you know, boss, there's something that still bothers me about the case. One little mystery we never got around to solving. Oh, that. Yeah, I was wondering about that too. Is this the unsolved mystery you're thinking of? What, this?
Take that!
The remote switch, right? Yeah, I wonder where it disappeared to. Maybe Mr. Tanay just got rid of it somewhere. Yeah. It is a pretty big thing to leave unsolved, though.
Right, let's leave it up to the police to find.
For now, we should be celebrating our not guilty verdict. I guess you're right. Hey, I know. Junie, shall we go report the good news? You know, to that certain someone. Okay. Huh? Her grandmother? No, silly, to Apollo! Oh, right. Well, why don't we all go to the hospital together to see him? Great idea. I bet he's bored out of his mind. Okay. Okay. And so the courtroom bombing case came to a close. But the next trial was just over the horizon. There is never a dull moment with so many lawyers in the office, that's for sure. Apollo Justice, Athena Sykes, and me, Phoenix Wright. Between the three of us, there is no case we can't solve. When our powers combine, we're an unstoppable team. At least, that's what I believed. But all of that changed with what Apollo said to us that day. It was something that would put my faith in us to the ultimate test. I'm leaving.
Sorry, but I'll be taking a leave of absence.
Wait, what do you mean by a leave?
Can you at least give me a reason why?
I can only say that this is something I must settle on my own.
What's her name again? I forgot. That girl.
Oh, why, Apollo? Why are you shutting us out?
What happened to you, Apollo? Ever since you put that jacket on, you've changed. And now, for whatever reason, all my mind keeps doing is returning to the day I first met you. We had tackled our first case together, he and I, this past spring. And as we did, I came to know who he is and how he thinks. It was a very peculiar case, one in which the victim was killed by a mythical creature. That shall be case number 2 then, I suppose. Dun, 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 dun. Can I save? Well, it's the end of this case. Okay, please go to extras and DLC to view them. Saving data, do not turn the system off. Episode 2, The Monstrous Turnabout. And I think I'll leave that for tomorrow. Well, although now that we're here, let's watch this.
Long, long ago, the nine-tailed fox defeated the evil Tenmataro and sealed the fallen demon away. To this day, it is said that he slumbers even still within the forbidden chamber.
Night, night, Alderman. Sweet dreams. At long last, the revival of Tenmataro is at hand.
Okay. Okay, I'll stop here then. Hold on, I'll save again on a different save file. I'll see tomorrow if I can replay that little scene by reloading this one. I'm not sure if I could. 132. Yeah, I'm not so sure actually. We'll see, because I don't think the scene lasted 6 minutes. Well, anyway, take it easy, people. I'll be back tomorrow then. Thank you for watching, and we'll start the second guess, the monstrous turnabout, I guess, tomorrow. See you next time. Bye bye.